I have to say that I think it's quite amazing that you guys appreciate the videos about antitrust things, cases with the FTC that are being reviewed, or even the SEC in those situations. But I find it interesting because I didn't think that antitrust or anything related to the business side of entertainment would entertain anybody else. I thought those were my things. But I'm glad you're all here, and I appreciate you watching this one as well. And again, we need to talk about what's happening with Amazon, the FTC review of the Amazon MGM deal, and everything in between, and courtesy of our friends over at Variety, and once again their Variety intelligence platform, we have a story that I have to say they continue to hit a home run on, and they continue to fan the flames of my fear that this deal is a fait accompli regardless. So should be fun anyway. Here we go. So let's start off here. First of all, the headline says it all. Why the FTC faces an uphill battle in challenging the Amazon MGM deal. Well, I wonder why. By the way, whoever did the graphic, kudos. The Federal Trade Commission's scrutiny of Amazon's alleged anti-competitive practices may soon crank it up a notch. Well, it's about time. That's according to The Information, which is a pretty decent source from time to time, which reported earlier this week that the FTC expects to decide within weeks on whether it will bring forth an antitrust lawsuit against Amazon to challenge its planned purchase of MGM. The Information's report adds a crucial potential milestone date on the timeline of the FTC's investigations into Amazon. Last June, it was reported that the FTC would be investigating Amazon's proposed deal to require MGM. Now, here are the dates of launched probes by the Department of Justice and the FTC, which why they're breaking this up, I don't know. But you can see the issues with Alphabet, Apple, Meta, and of course, Amazon. And when they brought this, when they brought this information into light, it was June of 2021. As to whether MGM will illegally boost Amazon's ability to offer a wider array of products. The Amazon MGM deal probe is being conducted by the FTC, as you can see via the chart there, in addition to a broader investigation which began under the Trump administration that the agency had been conducting on the e-commerce giant's business practices. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of states that have been bringing these suits, to their door for a while, and I'm sure it will continue. The broader FTC Amazon investigation in December expanded to include the e-commerce company's cloud businesses. That expansion may only have pushed any end to the FTC's years-long Amazon investigation even further out than the government agency had anticipated. Still, it's not like this latest report from The Information means the Amazon deal is en route to being blocked. In fact, I agree with that statement. While Amazon is a massive company with a video streaming service that's been around for over a decade, it's not like Amazon currently lacks fierce video streaming competition, which it does. Yes, Amazon in February touted having over 200 million Prime members streaming content on Prime Video in 2021, which I talked about in another video. But previous surveys suggest that many of those 200 million subs likely are accessing Prime Video as a perk of their Prime membership, rather than as a result of them signing up to Amazon SVOD as a standalone service, which I have to agree with. Most people probably just consider it a bonus because that extra savings in shipping is kind of a big deal. And I think they're going to get to the heart of the matter, which is the discrepancy between, the influence and domination. And we'll talk about that now. In fact, they started off that way, saying this discrepancy in influence was illustrated in part when Nielsen reported its list of the most watched streaming titles of 2021. Per Nielsen estimates, Amazon didn't account for any of the top 15 most watched streaming original programs in 2021 across all of the measured services such as Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Apple TV Plus. Well, that's interesting. There's bigger entities out there, but we'll keep going. Additionally, Amazon only accounted for one of the top 15 most watched movies of 2021 across the 5 SVOD platforms that are measured by Nielsen. And it's not like Amazon has been dominant in the prestige department either. Amazon won 2 Oscars compared to Netflix 7 in 2021. This year, Amazon nabbed 4 nominations, while Netflix nabbed 27. On the TV side, Netflix secured 44 Emmy wins in 2021, while Amazon didn't receive any. Well, if you've watched their content, you can probably understand why. Of course, MGM's library is the thing that's going to come into play, and I agree with that. They have 4,000 films, 17,000 TV shows, which would strengthen Amazon's Prime Video library. It's also not like quantity alone is the answer to success in the streaming wars, but let me add something to that. It's gonna help, especially with the MGM catalog. If that were the case, you would expect Disney Plus to be less successful in the US than something like Peacock, which has a bigger catalog domestically per amper analysis. Yeah, that's probably true. Now we look at the financial aspect of things. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo does not anticipate Amazon with MGM will be one of the biggest spenders on content, even when factoring in sports rights by 2025. In other words, I don't see them spending a lot more in dollars for content. In fact, you can look at content spending here in this bottom chart. It shows that content spending at major media and tech companies pretty much is dominated across the board by Disney. And you are seeing an accelerated purchase in the content department. You can add in Warner Brothers, which is ramping up. You can add in Viacom CBS, which is ramping up. You can see that Netflix is kind of falling off. We'll have to see. It's no mystery why then some, like Cardozo law professor Sam Weinstein, see the MGM Amazon deal as unlikely to be blocked. Meanwhile, UCA internet law professor and former Washington State Chief Privacy Officer Alex Albin said last July in regard to the Amazon MGM deal that the federal intervention would be warranted only if this proposed combination harms consumers or the video streaming landscape. And I have to agree largely with that. So what does it all mean? Well, A, it means that if you look at Disney overall, because of the sports deals and everything else that they have, they spend the most money. Well, duh. But it also means this deal isn't going to get blocked. Netflix doesn't spend nearly as much money as you would expect. And Amazon, if you include MGM, it's in the top 5, but it's 5th place. So look, this deal probably won't get blocked. It should, because big tech shouldn't have the kind of influence it's going to have on the media landscape that it's about to. And I'm afraid that we're going to get back to a time when we had even fewer choices. Do you remember back to the period of time in your life where you had 3 networks to choose from? Maybe 4, maybe 5 if you counted that UHF dial. I have to tell you, it does concern me that there will be fewer competitors in this field, and that number will likely dwindle in the future. But I don't see any changes in the way antitrust laws are being enforced right now. So, with that being said, fait accompli, as I said at the beginning of the video, Amazon acquires MGM, and we see what happens from there. I imagine more mergers and acquisitions on the horizon as the Warner Discovery deal finally wraps up. You'll see somebody acquire somebody else, and again, more dwindling competition. So, the question is, what do you think? Do you think that I'm wrong, or that this article's wrong and the MGM deal with Amazon falls through? I don't think so, and I don't think it'll be blocked. Do you think that we will see better content as a result of these acquisitions? I don't, but do you? And finally, do you see an end to this merger acquisition cycle in the next couple of years? And I'll answer that again. I don't. But I want to know what you think, so use the comment section down below. Comment on whether or not you agree with me or not, or maybe even mention something I didn't during the course of this video. In addition to that, support other independent content creators here on the platform. They absolutely deserve your consideration and your help. Believe it or not, when you hit the like button, you hit subscribe, when you turn on notifications, when you make comments, and when you share out their content, you increase engagement, and it helps the smaller creators fight back against the corporate content creators that are bringing you limited coverage of things from only one side of a particular argument, and or somebody who's giving you something original rather than some reboot of a rehash that you may not necessarily have any further interest in. The Batman. Anyway, with that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.